Sometimes, a man's true character is revealed not in boardrooms or battlefields, but in cramped airplane seats at 30,000 feet. And on one particular flight from London to New York, a rude passenger found out the hard way who he was sitting next to. And it changed everything. The airport was its usual chaos: late boarders, loud intercoms, tired faces waiting for wheels to lift them somewhere else. He walked quietly among them. No crowd around him. No fanfare. He was dressed in a plain black hoodie, a baseball cap pulled low, dark sunglasses covering tired eyes. No entourage. No assistant. Just a man who looked like any other. Except he moved differently. Calm. Solid. Silent. You could tell, if you were paying attention, he wasn't someone used to being loud. He was used to being ready. He found his seat. 21C, aisle. Right next to the middle. Already sitting there was a man who would change the mood of the flight within minutes. He was in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. Slick hair. Loud watch. Too much cologne. Phone call on speaker, bragging about some big account he'd closed. Every word a performance. One of those guys who thinks the flight attendants are his staff, and everyone else is an obstacle. The moment the quiet man slid into the seat beside him, he gave a glance. Then an eye roll. Ugh. Great. Some bald, wrinkled gym freak. Hope he doesn't snore, he muttered, not low enough to keep it private. The quiet man didn't respond. Just sat still. Adjusted his seatbelt. The man kept going. The speakerphone conversation shifted into how people like him don't belong in his life. Then he looked straight at the guy next to him and said to no one in particular, "Why do I always get seated next to someone who looks like they just got out of prison?" No reaction. Just a slow exhale from the man in black. When the flight attendant walked by to offer drinks, the man flagged her down. "Excuse me, miss. I thought I booked a better seat. I mean, look who I'm next to. Some of them may reject or something. He smells like sweat and cheap protein powder." A few people around the row snickered. Some looked. Some whispered. The man next to him didn't move. He didn't flinch. He didn't speak. The plane took off. The clouds swallowed them. About 30 minutes in, turbulence hit. Just a few shakes at first. A few bumps. Enough to get people clutching their armrests. One sudden jolt made the rude man jump and curse loudly. "Ugh, this pilot drunk or what?" he barked. A few rows behind, a little boy started crying. His mother tried to calm him. The boy was gripping a tiny toy car with one wheel missing. His knuckles were white around it. The man in the black hoodie stood up slowly. Walked to the overhead bin. Unzipped his carry-on. And knelt quietly beside the boy. He reached in and pulled out a small model sports car. Still in perfect condition. Vibrant red. Sleek. He held it out. "This one's tougher. Won't break on you," he said softly. The boy hesitated. Then smiled. The mother mouthed a thank you, clearly caught off guard. The man nodded once and returned to his seat. His rude neighbor, still watching, chuckled. "What, now you're giving out toys like some kind of budget celebrity?" This time, the man next to him slowly turned. Raised his sunglasses just a bit. Locked eyes with him. There was no threat in his gaze. No aggression. Just something sharper. He didn't need to speak. The stare said everything. The kind of look that only comes from a man who has been in real fights, the kind where there's no referee. Then the flight attendant leaned over. She whispered something into the rude man's ear. Just a few words. Nobody else heard. But his entire expression changed. The color drained from his face. His posture shifted. He swallowed hard. He glanced back at the man next to him. Then back at the flight attendant. "You're joking," he whispered. She smiled politely, but her eyes said she wasn't. "No, sir. "That's Jason Statham," she said quietly. "One of the most well-trained combat actors in the world. Former diver. Martial artist. And, judging by how quiet he's been this whole time, more of a man than you've shown yourself to be." For the next several hours, the flight was quiet. The rude man didn't say another word. Didn't look to his left. Barely moved. When the plane landed and the seatbelt light blinked off, passengers began filing out. Jason stood. He adjusted his hoodie. Picked up his bag. Then he turned to the man beside him. No anger in his voice. No ego. Just something that lingered, like a lesson. "You never know who you're talking to," he said quietly. "Might be smart to shut your mouth before someone else does it for you." And with that, he walked down the aisle. Calm. Silent. Vanishing into the terminal crowd. The rude man sat still for a moment. Eyes wide. Mouth closed. And for the first time on that flight, he didn't have a single thing to say.